So the next human I am going to bring on here is Heidi. Heidi is a senior team leader, so she's building on the team side, but she is also a platinum social marketer, so over 3,000 points in her customer pod. And I know that Heidi had shared with me she's a wife, she's a mom of 4. She's been in the industry for 8.5 years, and she was a 6-figure earner in the natural wellness industry. So, Heidi, are you out there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. So super, super excited to talk to you because a lot of times you find that there's a lot of people in this industry that have tried so many different things, right? And seeing that you've been in the industry for 8.5 years, you've made 6 figures in this industry. Can you share with us, Heidi, when you found Modere and just share a little bit of your background story?
I totally can. And I just have to say, Jean, what an incredible, powerful story. That's just a redemption story, right, about how we can just take control of our own health, which is actually exactly how I got into this industry in the first place. So I'm just going to give a little quick background, if that's okay, because it's going to make total sense why I chose Modere. So like it was just shared, so I'm 42 years old, so I'm over that tipping point. Married for 23 years already, got married almost like a year after high school. We have kids ages 11 to 19, 4 of them. And my background is I'm actually originally from Europe. I experienced 13 schools in 12 years in 3 different countries, which is actually how I got to meet the infamous John Melton, and I'll get to that in a minute. But at 18, I settled down and married a Canadian farm boy, and both just really driven and set to work. I mean, my dad told me, if you don't go to university, you're not going to amount to anything, and I didn't believe that. But I also had no knowledge yet of the industry that I was going to go into. We were just, we had the grain farm in front of us. We were running and operating a finished carpentry business, which has been 20 years now, so kind of traditional business models. And we just started knocking out life, having a young family. And here's the thing, though. When you're young and you're just on the go, I was completely oblivious to taking care of yourself. And I think a lot of people can probably relate to that. I mean, I don't even know if I drank a cup of water in a day. You know, people said eat good, sleep good, drink lots of water, exercise. And I was like, I'm doing good. And I just was so oblivious. But here's what happened. After our 3rd daughter, this was now in 2008 we had her. 2009, the beginning, just was not feeling very good. And you guys, I literally woke up one morning. I remember it was 5:30 a.m. and I could not stand on my own 2 feet. Now, when you are somebody who gets up and just goes from morning till night and you suddenly can't get out of bed, and it wasn't just that morning, this went on for weeks, I knew that there was a serious problem. So I went the traditional route. I went and did, I ran to the doctors after a while. Then I wasn't happy with that answer, and I started investigating natural health. So I brought both together, and none of them helped me, and so I had to start taking things into my own hands, which is how I got into the industry initially, because when you're in a crisis, you got to figure things out. And so that's what led me, this was now 2015, and that's what led me to my former company and how I got into the industry and introduced. Now, I was not there for the business. I just had to get myself better. I had to be able to function. I had to sell one of my other companies, which was a brick and mortar, and because I just couldn't do it. So it was very selfish. So I had told a friend of mine, I also saw one post. I said, I don't care what you order me. Like, don't tell me any details. Just order me what I need to be able to be better. And so she did. I got a package at the door. Fast forward, I ended up using those products, doing super, super well, because I looked around and realized if I'm feeling like this, so are a lot of other people, and we can help them naturally. And so anyways, here's what happened, though. I ended up being a 6-figure earner in that company. I was asked to be keynote speaker at corporate events. I hosted lots of things. I was on the focus group for Canada for the company. And the thing that was starting to really bug me, though, was that I felt like I was winning alone. And I was starting to look into the eyes of those with me who were just like good-hearted, motivated, awesome people, and they weren't winning. And so I started looking around, and here's where John comes back on the radar. I also see on social media, thank the Lord for social media. I see on social media that I have a local mutual friend with John, and I was like, wait a second. John and I went to school together down in Maryland in high school. How does she know him? So we got into a conversation, reconnected, and I find out that not only did John and I go into the same industry, but that he was crushing it here with you guys with Modere. And so got to just hear some phenomenal things about the company. And you guys, I made a phenomenally huge pivot in August of 2023, so not even that long ago. And here's why I did it. I did it because I have seen too many people succeed in their health and in having a plan B or C or D and creating options with their family with this industry and business model to just walk away. I absolutely could not just walk away, even though I felt burnt out, strung out, discouraged, turning around looking at my people. I knew that there was too much to be had, and I knew that with just the times of, costs are rising and fuel is up and groceries are up and all these things, like people are looking for options, and I knew that I was going to be able to share that with them. And so I started looking at Modere, and I was like, I have got to absolutely make this switch because this team is absolutely crushing it. When a lot of other people are telling me, oh, it's just a slow time and a low time. And I was like, no way, there is no way, because I've always believed that who you surround yourself with is who you become. And so anyways, August 2023, started seeing how many people were winning, started seeing the phenomenal change in my own self. My body had been stuck. I said I'm 42 years old, and at 39, it's no joke, things change. And I actually first started using, of all things, I got a bottle in the mail of the Firming Body Foam. And it sounds kind of crazy. That's not really the first thing people would start with, but the change I saw so fast and the issue I was having with the skin on my thighs, I was sold. And I knew that Modere already had gut health, which is what I'd been teaching on. And Jean talked about, the gut-brain connection and all these things. Like gut health is king. Well, Modere had that. So not only then did I start trying the trim, all of a sudden this weight that I had been slowly out of nowhere gaining as someone now in their 40s, I started seeing my body was completely leaning out. And you guys, that when you see change in yourself, you can see lots of stories, but when you see change in yourself, you can't help but tell people, right? And it's not the beauty of this industry, especially with social media and all these things. I mean, I'm going to be sharing Jean's story today with a whole whack ton of people because you can't disagree with the changes people have. So a bunch of things I've experienced here. You guys, this leadership is next level. It is something that I had never experienced yet. Like I said, I was burnt out and strung out. I walk into Modere, and I feel like I have more people than I can even count holding me up under my armpits. I mean, the resources are there. The encouragement is there. The shout-outs are there. If you guys are in any of the groups, just that the level of enthusiasm and motivation, support is like nothing I have ever seen. The product technology is so cutting edge, it's so advanced, and not only is it that, there's so much of it. So in terms of like business, there is literally something for everyone, and that sometimes can sound a little bit cliche, but there actually literally is. I mean, with over 80 products, to be able to grow a customer pod base, which is, on social media, people want to talk about what they love, right? Like, can I get an amen to that? Because people want to talk about what they love, and a lot of them accidentally get into a business. And so when you can do that and have a system like Modere where you can grow, like they were just sharing, I went platinum like really quickly, and I feel like I haven't even done a thing yet because I was just showing my collagen coffee and showing the laundry soap and things that are everyday staples in people's homes. And so that was really different for me. That was really telltale on why I also wanted to partner, because these were everyday consumable products that, the average household uses. And then also the technology on the business end of things the reason that we get into often things and opportunities like this is because we want to create options for our family and we want to create and free up our time. And we always want to free up our time because we want to spend more of it with our family, right? And so in my former company, a lot of those technologies weren't there. So it was time that my family was losing. Yeah, my bank account was growing, but my family wasn't getting the best of me. Whereas with Modere, I actually now have the best of both of those worlds. My family's like, are you still doing this? Because you're with us a lot. And so that really is another thing to really take note of the amount of time that you're actually gaining because Modere takes care of us so well, even with, monthly product reminders and sales and everything's automated, you guys. That's a really, really big deal. And I just absolutely love the referral system and that automation. So if I can answer any questions, feel free to ask. But, yeah, would love for you guys all to experience this and really, really talk to the person that brought you on this call and take this all to heart because it's not apples to apples. There's apples and oranges out there, and Modere absolutely is the cream of the crop, and I will tell you that from personal experience.
Awesome. And I love one thing that really resonated with me, Heidi, is when you said that you were looking into the eyes of your team members and seeing there wasn't any excitement. There wasn't, not everybody was winning. And that's so true coming to Modere. Like when this opportunity was first presented to me, I was like, I'm just going to try the product. And I'll let you know that, girl, that body firming foam, I have it in full stock. And my husband and I continuously fight over it, especially after having a large abdominal surgery. When I first found Modere, I actually had a 12-pound tumor and half my liver removed. So they did a full abdominal, my kids call it my shark bite. But to see the decrease in, the scarring on my skin and, knowing every single day, women have bat wings, right? Being able to put it under our arms as we get older and those little fat cells come out from wherever they're hiding to be able to tighten and tone is so true. And that one simple product can change everything. I remember John sharing his story when they first found Modere, they had toothpaste. There was not a lot of things that the company had. And I've gone through each and every single day and look in every room of my house and there's a product, whether it's the toothpaste, the mouthwash, the amazing collagen shampoo and conditioner, the body wash, things that I know that are safe and effective for my kids, our laundry soap. My son, as a type 1 diabetic, being able to use our probiotics. As my older kids are getting older, my 21-year-old is obsessed with trim, but also our collagen for athletes, especially the sports collagen for our kids. And knowing that there's different products that are going to resonate with everybody's goals, whether it's losing weight, whether it's gut health, whether it's skin care, hair care. There's so many different products, like you said, that resonate with so many different people. And for you to sit there and say that, you were winning but your team wasn't, having them see that vision, having them see that excitement, and especially the time with family. I feel like that time is so much more valuable than any aspect of any opportunity. And be able to work your business around family time, I think, is so key and so important that a lot of people don't see because their face is in the computer. Their face is in, belly-to-belly appointments. And we have that opportunity, like you said, with that referral program and with being able to meet different leaders and different people on these steps of this journey that are cheering you on from all over the world. And I just love that you hit on that because it's so true. We've all never met in person, but our stories impact us. And to be able to share those stories, you can share other people's journeys on your social media and it's going to resonate with someone else. And I absolutely love that you said that as well. If you could, one of the questions that I had for you, hold on, I was writing down your stuff, so hold on. Let me see. Okay, so when John comes back to you over social media, and it's so funny because I grew up in Maryland and I went to high school in Maryland, and the Meltons actually live like 30 minutes from me, so it's so awesome to have them right in this area. But to be able to reconnect with him over social media, what platforms do you find for building your business? What is effective for you, and how has your team utilized different social media platforms? Like, do you do live video? Do you do short-term videos? Are you active in your stories? Like, what key things have you found that have benefited your business the most?
Yeah, so, obviously one of the biggest benefits always is showing up. Just showing up, I always see in the raw and the real, being who you are, but you have to be present, right? People need to know that you're there and letting them into all the corners of your life. And so I'm an Instagram girl. I love Instagram, but I do utilize Facebook, and I'm actually just venturing into TikTok. But Instagram stories every single day. Feel free to hop over to my Instagram and just follow it for a little while and kind of see what I mean by stories. And the consistency of that, I love making reels. And I love what John always says. Sometimes you can be a little nerve-wracking when you do something new, but just show up live. Like, just get in there. Embrace the suck. Like, my first ones years ago, they were terrible, and I laugh at them now. And some of them are still just really ridiculous, and I do a lot of just silly dancing with my kids or whatever. But people go onto social media for entertainment, and when they're entertained, they earn a trust with you. And when they earn a trust with you, when you show that you're drinking your collagen coffee, people want to know what it is. And so it's creating and developing that trust. I really have taken to making it consistent to go live, and I like to go live over on Facebook. Facebook is a phenomenal platform for that, and it doesn't have to be about, it's just about letting people into your day-to-day. Yesterday I went live about needing advice on some beautiful fern plants that I brought in from the deck from summer, but you can talk about a wide range of things that interest you, and people will follow, and it's the best way to gain new followers, but you're really developing that trust. So I do a combination of stories every day, short form reels, and then I do lives as well.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a big thing, is showing up each and every single day and embracing that stuff. Like, going live was so scary, like the first time that we ever go live, right? And I remember a dear friend years ago, her first live, she was so nervous she didn't even realize that there was a load of laundry behind her and her bra was literally sitting on top. But she did it. But that's how we show up, right? Like, one of my key things is I'm a hot mess mom. I literally embrace that hot mess each and every single day. 6 days of the week, you're going to see me in hot mess form, and one day a week, people are going to be like, what's Lauren doing? Because she actually has makeup on and real clothes. Like, 9 times out of 10, you're going to find me in leggings and a hoodie, and I'm here for it. But you know what I mean? Like, you're showing up and you're showing people who you are each and every single day and the life that you live. And I think, like, a key thing with you is, dancing with your kids. Like, people want to see the real, raw you. They don't just want to have that spammy Pammy showing up saying, oh, you need to buy this, you need to buy this, you need to buy this. Like, combine your product with your everyday life, and like making it fun and showing up on those different platforms. So
for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to leave us with one last thing here, just as you were saying that. Take this into your everyday. Don't feel like you have to be at home in the perfect location to be able to do this business. Like I said, if you want to follow along, there's so many phenomenal people to watch, but I am a farm girl. I drive really big equipment. I do my business on that equipment. I'll make a reel from that equipment, from behind the grain truck, from wherever I am. Take it with you, and don't worry about it being perfect, because people just want a glimpse into, can I actually do this alongside my everyday? The answer is yes, but we need to show them. So I think that's really important too.
Yes, absolutely, because I feel like when people show up too perfect, they're hiding something,
Totally.
Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. And when people see, like, oh my God, they have the perfect life, they have the perfect hair, they have the perfect this, they have the perfect that, like, what's their backstory? Like, what are they hiding? Like, always show up the authentic self, the authentic you, and 110% agree. Thank you, Heidi, so much for sharing all these gems with us. I know that we're going to be putting up some posts in M Life and Rhino Nation, especially with everybody's stories and best tips and tricks. So I can't wait for you to share as well and continue crushing it. And I know we're going to see lots more ranked advancements for you in the future.
Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
All right, my friends.